Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. You might notice that the background is slightly different today. That's because I'm actually at a Honda service station waiting for my car to get serviced. They told me it would take 2 hours to finish up the whole thing, so I just stepped into somebody's office and I'm shooting this video. This week in the stock market was quite eventful actually. So I just thought I'd take a couple of minutes to talk about the 3 biggest things that happened. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is Apple and how it's hit a $2 trillion market cap. That's pretty insane because it's now a multi-trillion-dollar company. Fun fact, Apple was actually not the first company that hit a $2 trillion market cap. Saudi Aramco, which is an oil company in Saudi Arabia, hit this number in December of 2019. But since then, they've seen a decline in their market capitalization. So Apple is now the most valuable publicly traded company in the world. Apple first reached its $1 trillion number, I think in 2018. And it's crazy to think that 2 years later, they're now at $2 trillion. When you look at their most recent numbers, you can see exactly why this is happening. They had one of their best quarters ever during a pandemic when most of their stores were closed. Apple has amazing brand loyalty. So a lot of people who were working from home went out and bought iPads and iMacs, and all of this is reflected in their numbers. Apple is so ingrained in people's lives right now that people would rather buy an iPhone than buy groceries. So what am I doing with my Apple shares? I'm just gonna hold on to it because I feel like the long-term outlook of this company is stellar. They have an insanely strong balance sheet. I think they have around $200 billion sitting in cash. We're also on the verge of 5G, and a lot of iPhone users are going to be upgrading their devices to support this. And apparently Apple also has some amazing LiDAR technology that they're incorporating into their AR devices. It's supposed to be game-changing, so I only see this company going up in the long term. Yes, there might be some fluctuations. We might see a slight downward decline in the next few months, but I feel that its long-term outlook is going to be positive. So if any of you guys watching are Apple employees, my brokerage account can't thank you enough. The next thing I want to talk about is the S&P 500 and how it's hit its all-time high in the middle of a pandemic. If you had gone into a coma in February and woken up sometime this week and looked at your stock accounts, you'd have felt like nothing went wrong during this time. But then you read the news, you talk to your friends, and you realize, okay, the world is not the same as it was 6 months ago. So why has the stock market continued to rise in this time? I feel like it's due to 2 things. The first one is the Fed and how they've been pumping money back into the system. They've also reduced interest rates down to 0%. So this is encouraging people to go out and spend, which is helping the stock market. The next is just how investors think. They're more forward-looking, so they think about future prospects of the company. Also seeing things like unemployment rates going down, COVID cases stabilizing, and positive vaccine trials are giving them confidence in investing. You also have to remember that around 20% of the S&P 500 is made up of 5 stocks, which is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and Google. And all of these companies have done exceedingly well in the pandemic. The other 495 stocks have seen a slight decline, but it's these 5 stocks that are really carrying the index. So what am I going to be doing with all of this information? I'm just going to stick to my strategy of dollar cost averaging, which is investing a certain amount periodically. Now this could be monthly, weekly, or whatever your preference is. Is the market overvalued right now? Potentially. But a lot of people thought the same thing in 2017. If they had stayed away from investing back then, they would have missed out on so many gains over these last couple of years. So I'm just going to stick to my guns of dollar cost averaging and ride the highs and lows of the market as they come. Up next, we're going to be talking about the hottest stock in the market right now. Tesla. Tesla's stock price recently hit $2,000. Now this is absolutely insane to me because it puts Tesla's market capitalization just shy of $400 billion. For those of you who might not know, market capitalization is the number of shares outstanding multiplied by the stock price. Just to put all of this into perspective, this makes Tesla more valuable than Walmart. Just think about that. Walmart had a monster quarter last time out. I think their revenue was $130 billion. Tesla in comparison, $6 billion. I'm still a big believer in Tesla and I think that they're well positioned for the future, but I just cannot justify investing in Tesla at this price. Yes, I know that some consider Tesla to be a tech company versus an automobile company, but I still think its price is too high at this point. So as of yesterday, I sold all of my Tesla shares at $2,000. I rode it up past $1,000, $1,500, but at $2,000 was when I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna book my profits. I'd initially considered holding on to it until Battery Day, which is on September 22nd. That's when Tesla is supposed to outline their entire battery strategy. So they'll probably be talking about how they're making batteries more cost effective and maybe even new battery technology for all we know. But the moment it crossed $2,000, I was just like, you know what, I don't understand this stock anymore. I'm going to be happy with my 500% gains. Tesla is also most likely to be included in the S&P 500, and there's also a stock split coming up. So I'm going to be watching the stock pretty closely, but just from the sidelines. All in all, it's been a pretty eventful week. Hope you guys liked this quick recap. As always, remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.